Yellow banners everywhere. It is transfer deadline day. It is the most manufactured day in sports entertainment because it feels very American. It smells very American. And I think that's how we're going to sign it out. That it is deadline day. The
It's
biggest
deadline
day
day.
in sports entertainment today. Yeehaw, motherfuckers.
Yeehaw.
Although this is possibly the best deadline day we've seen in.
It's the best one in a while. Since camera crews were following Harry Redknapp driving around England, this is the best one in years. There's been so much that we're not really on top of everything that's happening. The window closed 9 minutes ago at
Why
time
do you
of
think we're
broadcast,
delayed?
and there's so much going on. There's so much going on, and we're going to get to it all, and it's going to be beautiful. But first, because John never lets me do this, I'm going to say hi, everyone. Welcome back. No, we'll stick with the hot open, yeah? Okay.
No, we're not. Nobody's welcome. Nobody's welcome.
Nobody's like, boo to you all. Turn off now, you bastards.
Can you tell I've had a hard weekend of sports? Which we're going to get into momentarily. Do you know what? Look, we're going to look at 2 or 3 key fixtures over the weekend. We're going to look at Jimi's team of the week in the Statr point system, because obviously we're getting much, much closer to our little release date. And we're actually getting to that point now where Jimi's going to have this weekly segment every week where we show you the team of the week based on our point system last week. Maybe that helps you out with some decisions over in the other side, because lo and behold, they started looking at defensive contributions, which is something we've been talking about for a while. In terms of the football, I want to look at Brighton City, because City are muck and Pep.
Because you're not getting away without talking about how the glorious Brighton have defeated the foul and hated City.
Well, Pep is done, but we'll get into that in a minute. I want to look at Chelsea versus Fulham, because fuck the PGMOL. And we're going to look at Arteta and Liverpool. I could say Arsenal versus Liverpool, but it's just Arteta and his anti-football antics. Yeah. I'm delighted they lost. He could shove it. Nah, I'm coming in guns blazing today. And then we've got everybody's favorite topic, transfer
deadline day.
There's so many things happening. Jimi, kick us off. Run us out with the team of the week. Show me numbers. Show me points.
Okay, I got to keep it short, because if I go on too long, some of these boys are going to end up signing for Palace. But this week...
what do you mean sign for Palace? They're going to sign for Liverpool. Half the country signed for Liverpool. Or Chelsea. Everybody seems to sign for Chelsea.
Well, when you spend £10 billion... Dino. Yeah, so this week's team of the week is looking a little bit different again, because everything is super, super, super fluid at the moment. I love to see it. There's different names popping up and dropping off every week. This week is very Chelsea dominated. Sorry, John. 4 of the top 11 this week for a legal lineup were Chelsea. That's Sanchez in the sticks. Trevoh Chalobah on 28 points. That's John's toys going out of the pram. Trevoh Chalobah, 28 points. Second week in a row, and the only person who's there 2 weeks in a row so far. Tosin for Chelsea again at the back, and Mark Guehi for Palace/Liverpool. More on that in a few minutes. Crowded midfield this week. Enzo Fernandez made it. Dominic Szoboszlai made it, partially because of one of the best pieces of right foot welly work I have seen in my entire life.
Actually, can we just make it just on the Szoboszlai one? One of the lads in a group chat went, once you see a man wearing an Alice band standing over a free kick, you know it's staying hit. And then he scored that, and you know, we were all just like, you know what, but kudos for that goal.
It was outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Proving he can do absolutely anything for this year for Liverpool. Will do everything for Liverpool this year. Enzo's in there. Paquetá is in there. He's looking like a fixture-proof midfielder, right? Because West Ham have certainly not been having a good time, but he was there last week at a good performance from them against, I can't remember. Bruno Fernandes makes it into the lineup on 31 points, and bizarrely out front, Elliot Anderson, stalwart Elliot Anderson for Forest is there at 35. And out front on his own, first time I've seen the team of the week go to a 4-5-1, because forwards were shit this week. Brian Mbeumo for United on 35 points, and the highest score anyone picked up this week. Which means team of the season so far is, again, Chelsea dominated. It's 3 weeks, we can count this now. Vicario hangs on.
The PGMOL has been helping them out, but I'm going to have a beautiful
Yes, you are. Nothing can stop it. It's going to be incredible. You're going to get us in so much trouble. I love it.
Can't wait.
Vicario has managed to claw onto his place in the team of the year. Calafiori is still there on 64. Lacroix at the back. Chalobah at the back on 72 now. Just 1 point behind in midfield. Elliot Anderson, highest scoring player this year so far on 73. Beside him, James Garner. Not stellar, just consistent. Paquetá is there on 63. Fernandez, that's Bruno, not Enzo, there on 61. And out front, Cody Gakpo still clinging on 57. And 2 Chelsea strikers. One will be no surprise. It's João Pedro. bless his name, 62 points, but just one behind him, and nobody saw this coming. Pedro Neto is the second highest scoring forward of the season so far. So again, it's a little early for this stuff to be talking about patterns, because one good game can make all the difference. Chelsea have had 1.5 good games with a little bit of help from a ref. Hold your powder, John. I know you're bursting. But yes, that is where it's at. It's still very fluid, but the team of the year will start to settle over the next 2 or 3 weeks. The team of the week is absolutely completely different every week. I love it because it means there's more assets, which means draft works better because more teams have good players that aren't the same players. That's me for the numbers this week. John, Gary, football things.
Where do you want to start? Actually, will we just get the easy topic out of the way for front and center?
I think it needs to be
your
your
by Brighton. Pep is done. When everybody else has a paycheck, Pep can do nothing. And when Pep's spark lost last year, he hasn't been able to reclaim it. They have overhauled their whole squad, their whole team. Akanji's on the way to Inter in the last few minutes. Gundogan is on the way out. Ederson is off to Turkey to get his teeth and hair fixed with a permanent transfer out there. Pep's done, lads. And I think a lot of City fans are afraid to say it.
I don't think he's at the done point yet. But if, having lost their last 2, if he loses to United next week, that's a different story.
Well, currently United are muck, and they're ahead of City in the table.
See also Leeds, Brighton, Forest, Bournemouth,
but one of those teams
Sunderland
is having a really, really bad year and wants to sack the manager, but the other guy is immune, even though he spent an awful lot more money and is doing a lot worse.
Look, if a Brighton game is the death of Pep, I'm a happy guy, you know?
Well, it was the Spurs game. They were embarrassed. They scraped, they made they put a bad Wolves side to the sword, and Wolves results since have shown how bad Wolves are, so I'm going to stand by my guns and say Wolves are done. Like, they're getting relegated this year.
Oh, yeah.
They're just awful. City's result on the first day looked ominous, and I put that in our report. And it actually just goes to show how bad that Wolves team are, because Spurs ran riot against City, and it could have been more. And at the weekend, I think Brighton didn't look like they ever really got out of third gear either.
This is not the best I have seen out of Brighton the last couple of weeks.
They were comfortable.
They were so comfortable against City, but City have been very poor. We spoke about it. Against Wolves, they could have conceded 3. They could have very easily conceded. That could have been 4-3 that instead of the 4-1 or 5-1 or whatever it was on the first day of the season. Mm-hmm. Spurs absolutely battered them. They were just light. They just looked very, very soft in the middle. And I'll say it before, I'll say it again. The only player in that Man City squad that you'd be worried about facing every week is Haaland. That's it.
And then he was so easily... in the last 2 games, it's like... Yeah. It's like Spurs showed up and went, this is how you defend against Haaland, and everybody else for the rest of the season is going to go...
They're going to do the exact same thing. Yeah. Yeah. Like, they brought in some murky signings in the middle, or in midfield rather.
Reinders looks good. Like, the lads look.
Reinders looks good, but he's not.
They look good. He looks good, but he's not Bernardo Silva.
He looks good, but
he's not Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
They all look good against Wolves, man. Wolves are terrible. Like, everybody was giddy after the first match, going, "Oh, City now, we're back now," and I probably fell victim to a bit of that myself. But 4-0 against Wolves, yeah, it's 4-0, but it's Wolves. Yeah. And they haven't actually performed against any other team since. Like, Brighton should not have been the current incarnation of Brighton in their current state with some transition happening out the front. Brighton should have been the kind of game that they would be expecting to win. Whatever about Spurs. Spurs are on a hot streak at the moment. Spurs have a new manager bump.
They should have been investigated very soon.
Oh, what have we done now?
You haven't done anything, but it's your connections to the Chelsea group and all this shenanigans that are thrown around.
Oh,
it's so not okay. Hi, we want to sign in Boanote, but we want to sign him for our sister club so that we can funnel the money when we sell him to ourselves in 2 years' time, which is a confirmed fucking deal. Oh no, he fails medicals. We're just going to send him over here, but we're going to buy your other guy, put him at Chelsea, send the other guy to Strasbourg, and then we'll do the old switcheroo in 2 years' time so that the money moves parts and hands. Ben Chilwell is also signed for Strasbourg in the last 15 minutes. Fulham have signed Tyreek George today. while
Evil Saka.
Strasbourg signed a Fulham youth player for 10 million 15 minutes earlier, which gave half of the money up front for Fulham to go and sign Tyreek George. So all they're doing is basically going, here, if this club over here signs your guy, that gives you the upfront cash. So it's not coming from Strasbourg. And Brighton are now too in-depth with this mix. So when Chelsea get investigated for this, because it is going to happen, if you look at the amount of transfers between Chelsea and Strasbourg and other teams that are basically hyper-loading players to send to Chelsea later, and all this jiggery-pokery, Brighton are going to go down with the Chelsea ship when that ship goes down. You only just
then I'll enjoy this week where they're the team who did what everybody else in the Premier League wants and beat City. So you're
100%. I'm like, we love City, we love Brighton. Can I go into my Chelsea rant now? I know,
Absolutely.
Gary, you want to talk about Liverpool, but
no, I want to hear this Chelsea rant.
Fuck Chelsea.
I want to hear this.
Fuck Chelsea. Fuck the PGMOL, and fuck the Premier League. You're either talking corruption, incompetence, or both at this point. The free kick that didn't stand for Palace 2 weeks ago. Look at the Liverpool one yesterday. One of the Liverpool players was closer to the wall than Eze was 2 weeks ago when Chelsea's one was suddenly not allowed. You had the one the other day, when Josh King scored his first goal as a senior player, and it was taken out because the defender ran into the back of a forward, and it was like, oh no, let's give Chelsea a foul because they can't concede a goal. And then a dodgy penalty the week before that. I'm sick of it. 3 weeks in a row, Chelsea have got a dodgy decision in their favour, which is so blatantly obvious. And the one against Fulham at the weekend was so shit that they took them 5 minutes to still get it wrong. And the instant the game was over, you had Howard Webb ringing Fulham and apologising, where 4 Fulham players have since come out and gone, shove your fucking apology, boys.
What goes an apology?
You had 5 minutes of VAR and you still got it wrong. So is it incompetence or corruption or both? Because if it's incompetence, oh no, that VAR is going to be moved to a different game. Do you know what game he's being moved to at the next weekend? Oh, the Liverpool game, or is it the Manchester Derby? So he's actually getting a fucking promotion despite being incompetent. Like,
look, there's
it
no excuse
to me, and this is just me as a fan who's now probably a little butthurt about a bad decision. With the way Chelsea are behaving in the transfer window and the way Chelsea are behaving with, I wouldn't be surprised if there's little brown envelopes going to the VAR officials. Because it's too consistent now. It's too consistent now. So either the referees are completely incompetent, and you can't sit there and go, oh, the referees David Coote has shown the referees' colours, as far as I'm concerned. Investigate them all. I'm sick of it.
I mean, referees are humans and therefore as prone to error and also malfeasance as anybody else. And of course, we're not stating that anybody has done anything. We're just saying we wouldn't be surprised if it emerged. Because
100%.
yes, there is a pattern here. Yeah. There is absolutely a pattern here. And it does seem to all be blowing in the same direction. When
Chelsea.
Strange transfers.
World champions. You can't have the world champions mid-table, can you? Because that's just a bad look for the Premier League. Fuck off all of them. Like, I'm actually like that one at the weekend. If a striker can't turn with the football in possession, what's the point?
Yeah, what's the game like?
Like, the striker had the ball under control, turned, and because the defender ran into the back of him during a turn, it's like, actually, let's not give a fantastic goal that would have put Fulham 1-0 up and completely changed the trajectory of that game. And the Eze one, the free kick that Palace scored 2 weeks ago, blatant. Like, any other free kick over the last 2 weeks in the Premier League, they haven't pulled them back. Like, I'm sick of it now. Like, Chelsea are getting whatever. It is whatever it is. I'm probably a bit butthurt because it's Fulham. Fair enough. And I love Josh King, and I've been prattling on about him since the back end of last season. And he's been proving my point.
You have. Fair play to you.
He's been proving my point. I'm just
he has. Look, I think Jimmy is right that the referees are human. They can make mistakes and whatnot. But when you've spent so much time, so much money, so much effort bringing in all of this new technology, and they've kind of enhanced it again this season with. I like
the idea of talking and giving their.
I love it. No, I think it's great. I think I do. But it removes the margin for error. And when you see those sort of errors that happened against Palace in the first week, against Chelsea, what happened against Fulham at the weekend, I think there was a couple of hit and miss calls in the United Burnley game as well.
I think we're at 6 apologies from PGMOL. I think PGMOL have issued 5 or 6 apologies already. We're 3 weeks in.
Yeah. What I would say is
Don't
that's
want apologies anymore. You want
but whether or not that kind of boils it down to corruption or whatnot, or what, brown envelopes, etc. It just seems to be more of a systematic, operational betting
Look,
in
people are
maybe
calling for the
problems, but
removal
at
of
the same
VAR.
time, they should have actually gotten rid. They should have taken the time during pre-season, used maybe one of the cup competitions last year to test all this out, make sure
They
all
have.
the things were ironed out.
They have, and in other competitions, it works. The semi-assisted offsides in the Champions League works.
No. In
Speed
the
decisions in the Champions League and European competitions
it
is
works.
much
I know it
better.
works seamlessly. 100. Yeah, I get that. But what
So
I'm
it's not
saying
the
to you is
technology; it's the ref.
The FA and the PGMOL, what they should have probably done was use the FA Cup last season, for example, at a local level to get all of these kind of kinks in the system ironed out. So when they hit the Premier League this year, they don't have these sort of problems.
What's different from the last 2 or 3 years? Like, this is my issue: is the thing of I've seen the technology work in other leagues. I've seen the technology work in the European level. What's the common denominator? Is a piss poor quality of refereeing.
Yep.
The technology is fine if it's implemented properly, but it's being implemented by incompetent morons. And I think that goes across the board for referees. And what happens is, when the referee makes a boo-boo, Howard Webb apologizes to the team. The referee gets a slap on the wrist. They get moved to the championship for a week, and then they get a big game as we're sorry we had to punish you last week, my friend. Did you see the one 2 weeks ago, like on the TV show with the ref essentially defending his buddy, and you have an Arsenal fan going, come on now. Like, it's gone past the point of no return. The referees just aren't up to scratch. But I can rant about this for hours. I think we should probably move on to anti-football Liverpool Arsenal game.
Well, before we move
happy.
on to anything else, there is some breaking news. So anyone who's been following transfer deadline day to day will know that there's a couple of things going on at Anfield at the moment, and one of the things that's been happening is Mark Guehi from Palace, which is it on? Is it off? Is it on? Is it off? It's been reported at the moment that Liverpool have submitted a deal sheet.
Same with Harvey Elliott to Villa. Well, can we get into the transfers in a few minutes?
We can. I just want to break because that's just broken in the last couple of seconds. Or
let
last
us look at Liverpool versus Arsenal.
The shockingly bad,
worst game I've ever watched.
It was a terrible game. The quality was absolutely shocking for two teams that were so good.
Well, Liverpool tried. I'll give
Liverpool
tried.
Yeah, well, Liverpool never got out of third gear. They didn't. Well, no, to be fair, they didn't need to. To be fair, but you and me, John, have had these discussions about Arteta in the past. We think he's a bluffer. I think this weekend just showed it yet again. Gary Neville was consistent with his analysis on the game that Arsenal, when they go to these big games, they have this look of a team that want to get a draw when they're away to a top 6 team, and they end up losing. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened at the weekend. Liverpool were not that great. I said it in my predictions for this week that I actually thought Arsenal could beat Liverpool, and had they come out and played the way they played against Leeds, they probably would have done. But
Can I ask about Arsenal? Just something quickly about Arsenal. Is Eze actually playing for them, or is he just wandering around a bit?
He will be next from basically after the international break.
Does it have to be like after the window when he can start playing for them?
No, he could have basically played.
He did play against Liverpool.
Did he?
Yeah, he came on against Liverpool. Yeah. Or I'm not sure if he started, but he definitely was on the pitch. He came on for Martinelli, I think.
He did.
So
he'd only been training a couple of days. Like, it's just too early to.
He looked good.
I
will say this. He looked
context here, right? If you sign a player even with a week or two of preseason, there's a week or two of training. If you sign a fella, remember, he would have signed after a Palace game, so he basically finished the game, had 2 days of essentially recovery, and possibly 1.5 days of training after all the PR marketing photo shoot needed to be done as well. So you're probably talking 2 days maximum of training with a new team.
Yeah,
probably a big ask to go straight in.
He did look sharp, but to be fair, that's because he's been playing competitive football for longer than the rest of us, because Palace obviously had European competition and qualifiers, etc. So when he came on, he did look sharp. With Saka looking like he's going to be out for 4 or 5 weeks, and Martinelli looking like he couldn't kick snow off a rope at the weekend, he will play.
The Arsenal football, right? And it was actually Peter Schmeichel, and I've never seen Peter Schmeichel so passionate on commentary. He literally was like, "This is a disgrace." He was like, this is not football. And like paraphrasing my terminology of it would be, it was almost like the Americanization of soccer. Soccer was the Arsenal way of playing was, we're going to disrupt you and stop you, and then we're going to rush it up the field for a set piece, and then we're going to set our plays. We're going to set our plays and attack from our plays, guys. And open play, no interest. Absolutely no interest. It's almost like get it into the corner, kick it off a lad, get a corner.
Yeah.
Rush.
But the irony is
football.
The irony is that they were beaten by a
glorious set
pretty
piece.
spectacular set piece.
Set piece United concede a set piece.
It was glorious. It was
That was some
absolutely
shot.
Did the TV cameras pan to the Arsenal set piece coach the same way they have every week for the last 6 months? Because it seems to me like Arteta is not the coach and it's this magical, mystical set piece guy. Because that's the only way they seem to play football these days. Like, Arteta, honestly, if it keeps going like this, go get your P45 at Christmas. Go see Ten Hag, Ole, and Jose at the Dole office. Because, mate, your next job is going to be Everton.
Hey, Everton are doing all right.
Everton are actually, yeah, but Everton are at his
Well, they're a better
ahead.
coached team right now, are they not?
Better coach team, but what'll happen there is Arteta will bum a job over Leverkusen or one of those teams for a year or two after the Arsenal gig pans out. And then he'll be one of those mid-table obscure managers who lives on a, remember the season I won the FA Cup? Where?
That
Wasn't even your
Leverkusen
team.
gig is open as of 4 hours ago, isn't it?
Which one? The Leverkusen gig, yeah.
Yeah, Ten Hag's gone.
Yeah, Ten Hag gone.
I feel bad for him on that one. After what Alonso did in that team, after selling 5-6 of your starters in the summer, and then you go to him and go, do you remember what we did last year? Yeah, do that again. Are we going to buy players?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Are we going to buy players? No. Are we going to support you? No. But do
You're
it
on
again.
hard mode now, buddy.
And then they go, actually, this isn't working for us. So, but think of the payoff. Oh, think of the payoff.
Oh, he'll catch
He
it.
just went in there, he got turned around at the gates, and went home with a few million in his pocket.
With a big wad of cash.
It's all right. I'll be the Ajax manager by Christmas. I'll go home. It's okay. Few mil in the bank. It's grand. Look, Arsenal didn't even try play football on that day. It's very rare I will praise Liverpool, but at least they tried to play football.
Yeah.
And that really hurts me to say that one of those two teams tried to do football and the other one went, no.
I can see the pain in your eyes complimenting Liverpool.
Come here, Jose got
I have no
slammed.
problem complimenting them.
Jose
They're very
got slammed
skilled,
for this for years. Simeone
for
got
the-
slammed for this for years, being defense first type coaches. They got slammed for years, and we're supposed to sit here and praise Arteta for playing set piece football. Nah, can't. It stresses me.
I will say this, right? The numbers over in fantasy, over in Statterland, actually do support what you're saying. It's like there's been a straight swap where last year it was Gabriel and Saliba. It's now Timber and Calafiori. I am not seeing any outfield action from Arsenal players.
Declan Rice being
Even Rice has gone quiet.
no. Declan Rice
has
is
gone quiet in
your
terms of
quarterback. Declan Rice is your quarterback. He stands over your set plays and plays your. He's your quarterback. He lines up and calls the shot clock on the plays.
Michael Arteta with
Did
the
you not see
Arsenal
Roy
FC
Keane
brains.
was the most beautiful comment. He was like, "You'd like if they tried to do something quick once, instead of this meandering over to the ball, waiting for everybody to set up their structure and their runs and their blocks." It's like it just is this weird NFLization of how to play football, and it is misery to watch.
It's poor.
The sooner he gets sacked, the sooner football can get back on track.
I'm just keeping a mental count of how many managers we're expecting to get sacked by Halloween. And it's going to be a bloodbath this year unless some things change in some places.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Anyway,
we're probably up to about 7 at this point.
My blood pressure is now here. Can we now talk about topics?
Yeah, it's
that make
okay.
me happy?
John, we keep landing on the things that upset you. I don't want to upset
Can we
you.
talk about things that are going to make me happy again? Like transfer deadline day.
Transfer deadline day. Yay, transfer fun.
Okay, can we? So remember the way I said 3 weeks ago, Fulham won't do a tap until deadline day.
Yes,
they did 4 in an hour at the end, last hour of the window.
Yes, I think that's one of 2 amazing predictions that I want to just call back to. Right, massive shout out for that because I don't understand all of the finer points. As you know, I'm the perpetual noob at football. John, you called the Fulham thing 2 weeks ago. Gary, 4 weeks ago, you called that Isak would move after the Liverpool game. Kudos, sir. Everyone thought it was dead. You said it was going to happen. Fair play. But Fulham, am I right in saying that they are active? I don't remember everyone they've picked up, but Raheem Sterling?
Not yet. Okay, so let's start from the start. So Harry Wilson looks like he is off to Leeds. Unconfirmed whether the deal sheet has gone in yet. The greatest substitute ever, might I add. Like 7 goals last year, all off the bench. Didn't score from starting a game all year. Full of most goals from subs. However, he upgrades out wide. Oh, there's this guy called Kevin. He's from Shakhtar Donetsk. Anybody who knows of Shakhtar Donetsk and Brazilians know they have a little bit of a trend here for developing young Brazilians, bringing them into Europe, get their work permit, sell them on. This is the Shakhtar.
Except for Fred.
They scoop up young Brazilian talent, give them their 2 years in Europe, get their work permit, and then sell them off for bang. So Kevin's gone from Shakhtar Donetsk to Fulham. Fulham's record deal, 35 million, dwarfing the 25 odd that they spent on Emil Smith-Rowe last summer. They followed that up with a guy whose name I'm going to butcher, Chimenka from AC Milan, another winger. Tyreek George then from Chelsea, another winger. They abandoned the Reece Nelson deal from Arsenal because fuck Mikel Arteta, and Reece Nelson is muck anyway. So those are the 3 confirmed. Godo went to Strasbourg for 9 million, which gave them half of the money basically to sign Tyreek George from Chelsea. Which again, remember this thing I was saying at the start about Chelsea's little here. If we sign one of your youth players over here for 10 million, you're going to buy one of ours for 20 over here. And it's going to look like a positive 18 million in our bank account this year so we can go buy another 40 fucking players. But I'm not complaining about that because it meant Fulham got 3 new wingers in on deadline day. And there is still time for one more, which looks like Raheem Sterling. He wants to stay in London. He's rejected moves to the likes of Turkey. What seems to be the rumor there is there wasn't enough time to get a loan over the line. So what seems like it could be happening there is a mutual termination of the contract. He has 2 years left. He has 2 years left on his contract at 350 grand a week or 300 grand a week or whatever. He's on mental money. The first signing of the era, they gave him bananas money. There's 2 years left. I reckon what they'll do there is give him 1 year to get him gone. And then he'll have his pick of the clubs in London. And right now,
once he's a free agent, he can move after the windows.
It looks like it's Fulham. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Palace either, because they're after selling Odyssey Edward with about 15-20 minutes to go in the window to Lons.
So, and they still have to replace Etsy as well. You've mentioned actually just to cut across in something else. You mentioned Reece Nelson. Reece Nelson is actually signed for Brentford from Arsenal. Yes. That's just actually coming out now. So as far as Brentford are concerned, that deal is done. So sorry, I'm just keeping an eye on things as they come through. So
they're welcome to him. His injury record is actually appalling.
Yeah, I'm going to throw a prediction out here now, and it's going to sound pretty strange, but I'm going to say that Brighton will regret letting go of Tariq Lamptey, especially for 6 million. I'm seeing Wrexham buying players for 6.5. I'm not seeing much squad depth at right back.
Lamptey's injury record has been very, very poor. He's not the guy that broke onto the scene 4 years ago now. Mm-hmm. He's
better than Solly March for injury record.
Yeah, but he also
only alternatives left now. All that's left now is Veltman and Gruda playing out of position. So I'm a little bit worried on that front in terms of depth. But that's it for Brighton. We sell people. That's today.
So I'm happy with Fulham's business if they can get... There's also a few free transfers on the agenda there because the likes of Christian Eriksen still doesn't have a club. I wouldn't be surprised to see him have a little mosey on down, probably somewhere in Europe. You have Jamie Vardy who's gone abroad. You have Victor Lindelof who signed for Villa. Mm-hmm. That's a great signing for Villa. He's better than any other centre. He's better than any other centre backs. How would Tyrone Mings do at Manchester United? How would Ezri Konsa do at Manchester? Nah, he's better than both their players.
He's not. He's not.
He's not better than both their players. He's not better than Konsa. He's not better than Torres. He might be better than Mings because Mings is better than Mings.
Based on what?
But Mings is healthy. He's one of the best centre backs in the league.
No, but that's the problem.
When he's healthy.
When he's healthy.
No, he's not.
Yeah, that's the reason. That's the reason why he might be that.
He's a centre back with attacking returns every season that he actually plays.
He adds depth.
Check the numbers. I'm talking numbers here, okay? I'm not talking style. But I think in a leadership role, he's just getting better for Villa. But good at Villa right now doesn't mean a whole pile. They're the worst team in the league.
Actually, will we do a quick blast on Villa? They've managed to keep the goalkeeper, Emi Martinez. And so what was looking likely this morning was Emi Martinez to Manchester United and Le Mans to Villa. Yeah. What's happened there is Emi Martinez is staying at Villa. Le Mans is in Manchester United doing his medical, which is very funny because it looked like United did a deal with Villa as a potential part exchange kind of deal, which means Sancho is off to Villa following the Marcus Rashford route. Good riddance. And
Yeah.
I really hope United don't do the silly. So what they've done is they've given him on a loan. Villa are going to pay 80% of his contract plus a loan fee, which basically covers United's tracks for him for the year. United have a 1-year extension option in the contract, which there is rumors they might trigger to get a minimal viable fee next summer. And I'm like, guys, don't give him a 1-year extension. Just let it run and let him go.
Just
Let it go. Man United have obviously signed their goalkeeper. That looks like it's done, dusted. Everybody's happy. Although there's been nothing confirmed on that, weirdly enough.
No, that hasn't been confirmed, but I might as well touch on this now. It's only the deal sheets need to be in before 7 o'clock. Clubs may not announce it until later on because you've got all of the the prep work, the PR work, the pictures being done, all of this kind of stuff. So even though it hasn't been announced, doesn't
they also put in a loan bid for Conor Gallagher at 3 o'clock today.
United.
Yep. And Atletico went permanent or out, and United went, all right, we'll see you in Jan. So United basically kicked the midfielder can down the road, and they said there was like a little mini statement that came out, kind of going, we know we can't get all the business that we wanted to get done in one drop. So rather than panic and rush with a few hours to go, we'll hold our powder dry until January. Man United has midfielders. The goalkeeper has been primary.
He would be exactly what they need in midfield.
Exactly.
He's an absolute gurrier. He's got leadership. He's got aggression. He's got a hell of a spot kick on him, if I remember correctly.
The one I would have wanted is if Man United were going shopping, would have been Bruno Guimaraes. You put it, In my ideal scenario, you would have got Emi Martinez and Bruno Guimaraes. So you would have Bruno, Martinez, the absolute prickiest spine in football, and then all you needed to do was get me a senior striker on loan called Alexander, who's floating somewhere in Saudi, and you would have had the most dickhead spine shithousing.
I know Dermot is,
and it would have been beautiful to watch.
I know Dermot's our resident Leeds fan, but John, you really do seem to want to rebuild Don Reevy's 1970s Leeds team.
I do. I want to bring back the good old days of
10 Johnny Gileses and Mitrovic.
What are you telling me? Emi Martinez, Lisandro Martinez, and the two Brunos, just the whinging, the moaning, the shouting at referees. I was saying it last night to the lads. I was like, I'm not sold on Emi Martinez. I was like, right, 1-0 up. 92nd minute, front of the Stretford end, and Mo Salah's taking a penalty. Who do you want in goals? He went, yeah, okay, I see your point.
Yeah, every day.
And I think he's the kind of guy who, with that responsibility, the persona that he puts out on the pitch, that would have been just one of those matches made in heaven going, you've had a terrible keeper for the last couple of years, have you? Oh, daddy's home.
Yeah. But he's also a voice as well, isn't he? I mean, if you look at that defence, Euro was young. Martinez is coming back, fair enough, but he's coming back from an injury. De Ligt just hasn't done it. Maguire, fair enough, he's experienced. But you need somebody like Martinez at the back. Schmeichel did it for years. Van der Sar did it for years.
I think Le Mans is the wrong decision.
I think I totally agree.
He might be a fantastic keeper, but that team is not the team
when you look
where De Gea came in and there was an actual base in front of him.
Yeah. Well, when you look at what they're paying, what are they paying? Something like 23.5 million, something 17, like that for him.
17 and up to 25.
Yeah, but you double that and you get in Donnarumma. You double that money, you get Donnarumma.
You wouldn't have even. It was another like 3 million to get Donnarumma. That's a deal for like 26 mil or something like that.
No, I think it's around like 35. But anyway, point being, if you throw more money at it, you get somebody like Donnarumma in. Who
I missed on Donnarumma today. Is that done?
City, deal sheet in. All medical done, personal terms done. It's the reason why it hasn't been basically pushed over the line is Ederson. Do you remember this goalkeeper merry-go-round that we mentioned over? Yeah. So right now they have Ortega, Ederson, James Trafford, and then Gianluigi Donnarumma sitting in the lobby. Yeah. You can't keep 4 of those goalkeepers happy.
No, absolutely.
Now Ederson is on an absolute rake of money. He's been the guy for the bones of a decade. He has to go. Now, if I was also James Trafford, I'd be turning around going, lads, you sold me a pup. Send me out on loan for the year if I'm not going to play. But that's
already.
If you're bringing in Donnarumma, Euros winning goalkeeper, Champions League winning goalkeeper, he's a clean sweep of trophies in his pocket at 26, which means as a goalkeeper, he's got 10 years left.
See, this is why to me Ortega made sense at United. Ortega would have been a better buy than whoever that your man is that picked up today, and Martinez would have been better than either. So where is it that...
Would you believe, as we're speaking about it, the announcement came out there, A deal
Was
sheet
that-
for the signing of Donnarumma to City has been submitted.
Submitted.
City are now
you
finalising
go.
the details of the sale to Fenerbahce of Ederson. So
Fenerbahce. Okay.
yeah, he's off to
Okay.
Turkey, and we won't talk much about Turkish football because there's 18 months before that completely collapses. If you just look at the fees that they've spent this summer, there's no way that money is in that league.
Let's come back to that another time.
There's no way.
That sounds
There's
interesting.
no way. There's just no way.
So
Fenerbahce have spent like 300 million or something crazy this summer.
I think having spoken about Fulham, Brighton, Chelsea, United, City, Arsenal, I think we touched on Spurs. Newcastle also exists. Are there any other teams in the Premier League, Gary?
There's one team that's basically signed everybody.
Mm.
That's not
Nom, nom, nom,
Chelsea.
nom, nom,
Sorry,
Apart from
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Chelsea have signed like literally everybody and their babysitters because that's what they buy.
Is there any other team that have a net spend over $250 million this year?
Oh, isn't there a team that's about to break 500 million for a summer spend? Isn't there?
There
four,
is.
With 2 transfers
476.
left to come over the line.
Yeah, 476 out and 220 in, so 240.
Is that not going to be higher when they finish off those other 2 deals?
Oh, I'm counting Guehi in that.
And Isak?
Yeah, the net spend is actually about 250 mil when you take outs. You're probably not counting Harvey Elliott to Villa either in that, are you, Jimmy?
Well, it's a loan.
I'm probably not. No.
Well,
Yeah,
it's also a loan, so it doesn't count yet.
Well, it's a loan with obligation to buy some stuff.
That's next year's money. So you don't
But
get to
anyway,
count
I
it twice.
love how
You're not
careful
Chelsea
we're
and you don't
being
get to-
about the net spend number
Anyway,
after
yeah,
the
yeah.
fiasco.
You're not
2
Chelsea
weeks
and you
ago.
don't get to count it twice.
No, you get to count.
This
You
is
get
going
to
to
count
be
it
an
this. If there's an
incredible
obligation to
season.
buy, you get to count it this year, not next year. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Net spend is still only 250 million. It's grand. Look, hang on. Guehi's move to Liverpool. Mark Guehi's move
Guehi's
to Liverpool
off.
is off.
Just
It's
confirmed.
just in.
Mark
This
Guehi
was
for
in.
Liverpool is off, and he's going to be staying at Palace for the year.
And this has been reported by The Athletic.
With
So,
who are reliable as hell. So that's an Ornstein or one of those.
yeah, that's either
So the
James
league is
Pearson
back
or
on then.
Ornstein. So yeah, Mark Guehi's move to Liverpool is off. He's set to stay at Palace.
Yes, I love transfer deadline day.
I love it. 20
That's,
minutes ago, this was
that's
hot
a
news
show.
that it was going through. I'm going to call it now. Guehi at Palace is central and will remain central. They're the best they have been in 20 years. They're getting good results. He's getting good scores, even though he thought he was packing his bags last night and he walloped one in the dissection of Villa. Great young man, great young player, and wherever he goes, he'll do well. But I think he's going to be the star at Chelsea this year. Liverpool have another new centre back, to be fair, so it's not all bad.
No,
Ages
well, the
12,
new
13.
centre back Leone he's a development prospect. Look, Mark Guehi was the signing that every Liverpool fan wanted.
He would have also been a future captain of Liverpool.
He would have been a future captain of Liverpool. I still think he goes. I think in January he moves.
No, I don't
I
think
absolutely think he moves
think
in
so?
January. Yeah, look. I think he knows he's at a
No,
play.
too loyal to Palace.
No. Look, if he was
You'll see it out.
hang on.
Get a free transfer and a handshake from everybody and thanks for your service next year. He's not going in
If
January.
he was loyal to
They're not
Palace, he would have signed a
captain
long-term
even
contract
then.
already. He would have signed the long-term contract when it was put in front of him.
Oh, and then got the okay, yeah.
Yeah. That's what he would- he would have done.
Wait and see what happens in the next week because he could. I would not be surprised. Let's say if he signs a 2-year contract with a release clause.
No, what's going to happen there is in January he goes probably to Liverpool for 30 million instead of the 35 that was done there because it's 6 months left on his contract.
Or he signs a 2-year contract with a 50 million release clause to a team in X zones.
Yeah, no. Well, look, we'll see what happens. I think the long and short of it anyway, it is off.
What's the story of the other fella then?
Not happening. With Isak, he has been at Anfield pretty much all day. The medical is done. He has passed his medical.
I would love if that was one of those Peter on the Wingy.
I know, yeah.
He's there, and then it just falls through, and he's like, "Oh, I have to go back now."
Yeah, that would have been actually great. That would have been great to see, even though it would have meant Liverpool not getting him. But yeah, he's been at Anfield all day. The understanding is that everything is done, everything is signed, sealed, delivered. The reason it hasn't been announced yet is he's been doing his PR stuff, his camera work, all of that kind of fun stuff.
I think that's what's happening over at Man United as well, because Sancho is gone, Anthony's gone, Hoyland is gone, Lamens is supposedly in, and the only one who's been announced is Hoyland, and that was
a loan to Napoli, wasn't it?
And that was only confirmed.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see why this. Yeah, it's going to look just to before we move on to United, just on the Mark Guehi stuff. It's going to be interesting to see what the fall down there was, because the deal sheet was submitted. And what happens with deal sheets? If you submit that deal sheet before the deadline at 7 o'clock, you have until 9 o'clock to get everything else across.
Is it 9? I thought it was midnight.
No, it's 9.
Okay.
What you used to be fair, it used to be midnight. They've changed.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Okay.
For the sake of the admin staff, wasn't it?
Hmm.
I read that there was an aspect of that was changed for the admin staff, that the amount of paperwork that's involved in legalizing and notarizing and stuff was just insane to have people working till midnight. So it was like, fuck you, we're done at 9.
Yeah, fair enough. It's going to be interesting to see what the fall down.
He strikes me as one of those players who's a bit of a gent, is what I'd say. Like,
yeah,
he's been at Palace for a very long time. He was essentially let go by Chelsea back many years ago, and has made his career and made himself an England international at Crystal Palace. Yeah. So I think there's an element of, lads, okay, you didn't get somebody in, I'll stay. Right? So I this is why I would say, from that perspective, I wouldn't be surprised. And Gary, I know this is not what you want to hear. I would not be surprised if he signs a 2-year extension and then ends up at Chelsea next summer and back to his boyhood team.
It could be. And look, if I take my Liverpool jersey off for a second, right, I'm actually it's refreshing to see a player do this sort of thing. If you look at what's happened in the last
with Wissa,
with Isak, with Wissa, those two in particular, coming out the way they've come out to try and manufacture the moves. After the Villa game, after Palace beat Villa at the weekend, Guehi was front and centre. As captain, he probably would have been anyway, but with all of the transfer rumours going around, he was always going to be approached by Sky Sports after the game. He was very, very non-committal in what he was saying, but in no way, shape or form did he put the mockers on Palace. He didn't start trying to force through a move. That was an opportunity for him to do that. He came out and he said, look, all I want to do is play football. I am very happy to stay here. Now, if he is as loyal as you say he is, John, would he have signed a long-term contract previously in the last 6 months when it was actually put in front of him? Probably. But the lad has handled himself exceptionally well.
And that's why I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised. Because
you could be right. Either way, it could be.
He gets to stay in London. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes, look, let's sort out the contract situation so that you're guaranteed something next year. Here's a 50 mil release clause put in the contract, and then Chelsea clean that up next summer.
Potentially,
that's what I see happening there. To be perfectly honest, that's just opinion there. Like, that kind of way.
Let's see what happens.
Isak is the one I've seen nothing on that in a while. Maybe it's just because there's so much noise today. I think what's going to happen is
there's a lot of noise.
Like, we're not going to see, like, right now, I haven't seen, like, Dele Alli's been terminated from his contract in Italy, so expect him to rock up somewhere random. He could be Wolves. He could be at Wolves next week. He could be at Palace next week. He could be.
Oh, Wolves picked someone up actually quite late.
No, cancelled deal as well there.
Striker. Is it gone?
Gone.
Jesus, because we know they need to buy.
Enjoy the championship, you dirty little shits. I hate.
And that's in case any of the Wolves fans listening have forgotten why you love John. It's stuff like that.
No, do you know what? There was a point at the back end of last year where I got rinsed by the Wolves fans. And do you know what? Every week that passes by that I'm confirmed that I was right just gives me a little bit of joy. There's 3 groups of fans in this football world that I dislike with a passion. Arsenal front and centre, because their online fan base is atrocious. They're literally what's wrong with football. Arsenal Fan TV, they make money based on Arsenal performing badly. Notice that they're not relevant right now because Arsenal are reasonable. Like, yeah. Second is what I would call the continental Manchester United fans. Let's say, when any post that you look at and you'll see the comment section of Manchester United fans and just that base of fans. Fuck me, you are toxic. The team can win 3-2. It is not good enough. What's good enough? Do you expect them to beat every team 5-6-0, drop 600 million in the summer? Because that's how reality and dreams. There's a base of that Man United online fan base that needs to go and give their head a wobble. And then the third that I actively dislike are Wolves. Lads, y'all think you're a big team. You're not. You never have been. You never will be. Enjoy the championship. And I'll see you there in 3 years' time when Fulham inevitably get relegated. But, we'll enjoy our ride while we're there for now. Fuck the Midlands!
Wow, that was that. You're on like 360 degrees of scoring this week, John. I worry for you. You're just so good at it. Like the daggers are so fast moving.
Yeah, but if you say it with a happy face,
over every week for this stuff. This is great.
If you just say it with a happy face, nobody thinks you're horrible.
So I'm going to throw one out to you boys, right? And I want you to just one name. You can do this. Just one name of all of the names we've seen moving today, or this window. Who's the one you think changes things the most for where they land?
Do you want to go first, John? Or I have one in mind, to be fair, but if you want to.
The biggest move in terms of biggest impact or best deal, or what way are we looking at this question?
Biggest impact. Who's going to do the most for the team they've gone to?
If I can jump in.
Was it?
Wissa Newcastle.
Nah. It's Jack Grealish at Everton.
No, today. He's talking today.
No, we're talking.
No, for the window. For the window.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said today, so I'm based off deadline day deals.
My bad. I meant the window, and I think it's Grealish as well. He looks
if we're
really,
talking
really good.
best deal of the transfer window, it's Jack Grealish.
It's Jack Grealish or it's Pellegrini at Spurs. It's one of those.
Pellegrini at Spurs.
Yeah.
What's it? Under sub 30 million obligation to buy or option to buy.
Yeah.
If Spurs had any brains, they would turn that option to done now.
Done now.
Done with this.
Yeah, but look, it's Grealish, 4 assists in the last 2 games. If you're looking at the window as a whole, he's the one that you want to, particularly from a fantasy perspective as well. I'm surprised he's not in the team of the year so far. I'm sure he will be, but that's probably because he's missed the first game. He will get there. If you're talking today,
I reckon Jack Grealish is going to be in the team of the year this year. I reckon.
Yeah, I think so.
If he continues going the way he's going and being David Moyes' creative soul of that Everton team. The record is 20 assists in a season. He's not going to break it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying
he's going to
end up on. He's going to end up on the leaderboard. Let's say 10.
The other name
2020. It's happened twice. Kevin De Bruyne being one. 19 has happened once. 18 has happened 3 times, and then you've got 16, 15. I reckon he finishes in that 14 to 16 pocket this year.
Yep.
He's on 4 already.
Yeah, and everything.
We asked him to do 11 more
everything going forward for Everton is going through him, so he'll definitely hit double figures. He'll probably get to about 14 or 15. You're spot on. I think.
How did Arsenal do more business? Sorry, Arsenal are after signing another defender.
What? Who?
From Piero Hincapié from Bayer Leverkusen.
From Leverkusen,
on loan with a 45 mil option or obligation, not confirmed yet which one it is. A 45 million buy option or obligation, not 100%.
He won't be the most impactful player in the league this year.
I'm going to
throw another name at you.
I'm
going to throw a name at you that's going to enrage even more than Jack Grealish, because I'm sorry, I just can't not poke at John today, but it hurts me to say this as a seagull, but João Pedro is already looking like he is paying back more than the absence of Nicholas Jackson.
Can we talk about... Oh, fuck no. We need to talk about Nicholas Jackson. What? We just need to talk about Chelsea in a little more detail. So, right. Jimmy, do you know any of the Nicholas Jackson, Mark Guehi, Mark
It's like putting a coin in him. You're unbelievable, mate. This is just
wind up and watch him go.
No, because the lap got it. I love deadline day. It gets me very, very excited.
It does. I love to see it.
So, right. Delap got injured, obviously, over the weekend, right? And Chelsea go... So, Nicholas Jackson is in Bayern Munich doing his medical for his loan deal. Delap goes down, and in the middle of the medical, he gets a phone call from Chelsea going, "Oi, back on the plane, come home." His agent turns around and goes, "You didn't want us. You still don't want us. We're not coming back." So, Mark Guehi has been on loan for Sunderland for a whole of 3 weeks. They terminated his loan, brought him back to Chelsea to sit on the bench, went and signed 2 new forwards in the last 24 hours. And then Nicholas Jackson, they turn around to Bayern and gone, "Well, it seems as he's refusing to come back. You buy him or he is absolutely coming back." Nicholas Jackson, an agent and co, going, "Best of luck. We're off on international duty. We'll see you on strike in 2 weeks' time. And we're not coming back." So now Bayern have done a loan with an obligation to buy next year.
Yeah.
It's
worth about 70 million as well, which is mental.
It's just
70?
Something
70
like that.
All in, yeah.
Yeah, all in, it's worth 70. But can we talk about Jackson for a second? How have clubs in the Premier League not gone in for him?
because
Like,
he's
I mean,
meh.
like Newcastle needed a striker. Okay, they've gotten Vissa in now, fine, fair. And
Well, this is like the Spurs one
Wutamani
with
from
Paula Moani. Like, there's these category strikers. There's a reason nobody went in for him until today. When
Jackson
everybody
didn't
went and
score.
paid bank on centre forwards, nobody came in for Jackson.
Jackson,
but he was half decent. Like last year, he wasn't.
no, but he was
bad.
dependency decent. He was decent as long as Palmer was behind him on form. When Palmer was injured, Jackson did jack. When Palmer hadn't found his feet at
Good
Chelsea,
point.
Jackson did fuck all either. And this is numbers talking. This isn't football talk. But I'm telling you now, if you overlap Jackson doing well and Palmer on form,
Oh,
it's not Jackson doing well.
That's the handshaking emoji right there. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Venn diagram is a circle.
that's fair.
I love transfer deadline day. Chelsea
70 seems high for me. So for me, if you're looking at a player who on his best season ever possible conceivable would get maybe 15, 16 goals in the Premier League. 70 million, 4.5 mil a goal? Nah, son. Not happening. No.
Nah, I don't see it
And
either.
I say this knowing full well that there will be
money.
an expectation that Isak is worth more than that because he needs to put in 25 to live up to the expectation that's on him.
Yep.
You know?
Well, I'll call it now. Isak doesn't get more than 15 goals this season for Liverpool. If that deal gets
I
done.
agree. If it gets done, I agree. I don't see how he fits.
Because now, given what's happened with Liverpool tonight, I don't know whether I'm just not putting money on anything getting done.
Well, like I'm just going to have a quick show of thing here, right? Because you've obviously got the Chelsea thing, right? The lap got injured, so we went and recalled all of our players from everywhere else. I just find there's something that just doesn't sit right with how. I know this is like the third time I've said Chelsea are corrupt today, but like you have Gittins, João Pedro, Cole Palmer, Pedro Neto, Andre Santos, Esego. Let me keep on going. There's more. Boanose, Estavao, Garnacho, and Mudryk is still there. Why did you need to recall Mark Guehi? Why did you need to go by another forward today? That's 8. That's 9 for 3 positions. Like,
I mean, my heart breaks for Buonanotte because this is the second time he's been farmed out on loan, and the last one was really successful, and this one will not. He will not get game time.
He's not going to play a game.
Squad. No. And it's a shame because he was really, really good at Ipswich.
This is what Chelsea do. Like Chelsea have this weird thing, right? They signed Petrovic for 20. They wouldn't sell him.
Leicester. Sorry.
No, but there's this thing that Chelsea have done, right? They buy these players, right? And they'll go next year. Oh, yeah, you're fine to leave as long as we get at least what we bought for you for, so that it looks like a profit on the account. So they bought Petrovic for 20, sold him for 25.
They're not going to get 80 back on Mudryk. Wasn't Mudryk silly?
No, but Mudryk is old hat player type. We were looking at the likes of a Bonote, who it's a loan with an obligation for like 20 mil. They'll sell him basically to someone next year for 22, and they'll have this kind of little
incremental gains the whole way through. It's very American.
This is what they want, but this is what they're trying to do. They basically say to all these lads, like, oh yeah, you're free to go every year. Don't care. As long as I get a little bit more than what we paid for you a year ago. Keenan Dewsbury Hall, they signed him for, what was it, a 2 mil profit to Everton. He didn't play last year. It was the waste of a year of his career.
A great season the year before in the Championship.
Just to cut across, here's another deal confirmed. Colo Morani has joined Spurs. That's confirmed.
Who's this young fella now? Any good?
What a waste. What
he was good for Juventus when he went on loan. So he's a French centre forward. Played at PSG.
We went and dropped bank for him 2 years ago. Realised he's awful, and have farmed him off on loan for the last 2 years.
Well, they dropped money on him because he was young and he was French, and that was the PSG way for a couple.
He was also in the French team at the time, and he came on in the final and missed.
I know. But again, if you're looking at the Spurs player, he's a Spurs. He's a Spurs level player.
Right. Xavi Simons is the one for Spurs. Actually, sorry, can I revert? The player who's going to have the biggest impact for a team this year could be Xavi Simons. He is gorgeous as a footballer. Wow, he's class. And the fact that Spurs got him over Chelsea and over one of the teams in Europe, I don't know how they did pull that off, but that's a great deal.
It is. Sorry to cut across you there.
Apologies. It's this deadline day. So Spurs have actually done good business this summer. Kudus, Tell, Danso. Well, I suppose Tell and Danso are just turning their loans into permanent. Luka Vuskovic, who's one to watch later. They were looking at sending him out on loan if they could have got Nathan Collins in. They didn't do that, so he's going to stay. Takai is there, and João Palhinha. So that's 4 new players. 2
6 new players and Moani makes 7.
Yeah, that's a decent summer for Spurs.
That's not a bad summer. Donnarumma looks like it's finalised in the last few seconds as well to City. That's a 5-year deal.
Sunderland have signed. Ooh, that's a deal. Brian Brobby from Ajax to Sunderland. That's
Who's he now?
Brian Brobby is a Dutch centre forward who's basically kind of bouncing around European teams. He's Ari. He's Ari. But at a team like Sunderland where he's going to play every week, he will do.
Yeah, he is someone to look at.
He's put it like this, right? He's better than Sunderland.
Sunderland are doing much better than Fulham or Brighton. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, but they won't. Over the course of the year, they won't. But
I know.
No, Brian Brobby, like, for example, like if he was to have rocked up at Everton, if he was to have rocked up at Villa, if he was to have rocked up at a Brentford, a Brighton, nobody bat an eyelid. You know what I mean? That's his caliber. But the fact that he's gone to Sunderland is like, ew, not me. I don't know. There's so many comings and goings today. I'm just like, I feel like we're gonna wrap this up in a few minutes, and this is probably the most scattergun pod we're gonna have all year because that's transfer deadline in a nutshell.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I love it. I love how live it is. I love how metagame it is. I love how X depends on Y depends on Z, but that's fallen apart. So now there's a whole different chain of stuff. I love how excited John gets. I really do.
Another update. Akanji is left City.
I saw that earlier. Yeah, he's a very flexible player. Can play in pretty much like 6 or 7 different positions, but was never going to get first team at City.
Yeah, but this means we all need to go look at our fantasy teams in all both here, over in the sister side, over in the brother sides. We need to go check all of these out because I know for a fact I have 4 players in both of my squads that no longer play for the clubs that they're.
Yep.
Can we just go so I can go fix my team?
Yeah, Harry, there's a lot of team fixing to do.
I think I need to send you a trade there over on Statr. Actually, Jim, do you want to give a quick Statr update before we wrap?
Quick Statr update. Yeah, we are currently running our first test league among the podcast crew and a couple of old school Tlug stalwarts between us. And it is great. It is lovely. It's an awful lot of fun. It feels very achieved. But we still have a bit of work to do before it's ready for all of you guys. And we know we've made you be very, very patient all the way through the summer and all the way back to last summer because we're nearly moving up on 12 months of this podcast now. We're working on it. It's on the way. We will get it to you as soon as we can. But if you want to get there faster, get over to the site, get onto the waiting list.
And what's the site? What's the site, Jimmy? Where can they get all this information?
So just to let you know, waiting list right now is second wave. First wave waiting list, that door is closed. Those guys got there ahead of you. Sorry to break hearts, guys, but we have capacity questions. Second wave of invites. Get them over at StatrDraft.com.
StatrDraft.com. Gary, I know you've
my fabulous
jersey behind you. I hope that is the proudest jersey you're ever going to see. I don't want to see a Virgil van Dijk championship jersey or something hanging behind that wall ever. Jimmy, Brighton can go screw themselves. PGMOL Chelsea, do one. That's my attitude for today. I'm sorry that I've been very, very aggressive by my own standards today.
Oh, we love it.
I'm going to go for an hour and cry looking at pictures of